So why are you doing marijuana when you know you have sentencing and you know I could send you to prison for 5 years? Because I'm sure your attorney will tell you, and I'm sure the state will tell you. In this court, age is just a number. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 6828, State of Texas versus Alonzo Taylor. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Deerhead, Your Honor.
For the defense?
Greg Gamer for the defense.
We are here for,
Gamer.
could you spell your last name for the court reporter, please?
Yes, DES is in Sam, MARAIS is in Sam.
Thank you.
Sorry about the S.
So we're here for sentencing today. You entered a plea on March 29th of no contest, and you applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at a cap of 5 years, and the state is silent on your application. All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Your Honor, I'd like to say a few words and then call Alonzo and his mother up if that's possible.
Yes.
So the first thing, Judge, as you go through this PSI, the thing that sticks out is criminal history, obviously. This young man just turned 20, April 8th. And as we just talked out there, I'm saying you're the perfect candidate for probation because of this. You're at a crossroads. Your life is going to be defined by what you do from now on. You've already made this thing as since a 12-year-old, if you go back with those ages. He does have certificates for construction that he can work. He does have a job. He does not have any dependents. I've talked to him about his alcohol and drug use, and he's saying that is not happening.
All right, if you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Kind of dirty.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of dirty. He said kind of dirty.
Dirty for what?
Marijuana, I think.
No, it's not marijuana. I think you know what you were using. So what have you used? Let me put you under oath. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and you're going to have to speak up so the court reporter can hear. So what are you going to be dirty for?
Marijuana.
And what else? All right, before we continue, I'm going to want a UA. Okay, you're going to need to speak up. Right now is not the time to be too cool for school.
It was about a week ago. It was a candy bar site. My voice is just kind of deep and low.
Right. So why are you doing marijuana when you know you have sentencing and you know I could send you to prison for 5 years? Because I'm sure your attorney will tell you, and I'm sure the state will tell you. In this court, age is just a number. I'm not going to treat you like a child because you're not a child. You're in adult court. I don't know why people want to use some drugs before they come to court and then try to throw themselves on the mercy of the court. State is silent, but you're here for a serious offense where you could end up going to prison for 5 years. And I will tell you this, if you end up going to prison for 5 years, it's not your mom's fault. It's not your attorney's fault, because I'm sure your attorney probably already told you that I always, well, not always, but usually ask for a drug test. And all you had to do was come into court clean today. And if I were to send you to prison today, which I haven't made up my mind on that, it would be entirely your fault because your criminal history is just insane for someone your age. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you doing with your life?
Well, I'm not gonna say that, in the past that, it was a regret because jail kind of did help me out, I had problems to help me.
Oh, wait, let's do this. Let's stop saying, after every sentence. I want you to concentrate and try not to say, A lot of people come before me and they say, it's like, well, like this and like that.
Okay.
Your attorney is also a teacher, as am I. And I will tell you, he does not like his children saying, it's like. So let's try not to have that when we speak.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, I went to school for, construction. And it's always been like, type of dream job, you know what I mean? Sorry, it's just how.
Can I ask him a few questions, Your Honor?
No, I want to.
Okay.
I want to hear him.
Well, I went to construction for about 3 years for, the school for construction, I got my ACCR, my OSHA.
See, it's hard. And I'm doing this not to make fun of you, but you have to learn how to speak, not like you speak with your friends, because this is a professional setting. And when you go do job interviews, people are not going to want to hear, it's like, you know. So concentrate on not saying those things. It's for the betterment of you. So concentrate, not saying that, and not saying, okay, and it's like. And I want you to stand up straight, and I want you to stop mumbling, and I want you to speak so I can hear you, because I'm trying to make a decision on whether or not to send you to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So go for it.
I went to school for 3 years for construction. Since then, I got my NCCR, OSHA, and my level in carpentry, cabinets and stuff like that.
And you have an
I haven't-
opportunity for a job?
Yeah, I have an opportunity to job. I have a neighbor that does construction. So.
Does your neighbor know that you're doing marijuana?
Yes, ma'am.
You're telling me that your neighbor wants to hire you and your neighbor knows that you're doing marijuana. Tell the truth.
No, ma'am.
Here's the other thing. Do not be dishonest with me. I do not like when people are dishonest. You cannot do construction and use drugs. If you do, something's going to happen. Either there's going to be an accident at the job, and I have relatives who do construction work. I have relatives who drive. Anytime there's an accident, the first thing they want them to do, whether it's their fault or not, is take a drug test. And if there were an accident at a construction site, they would have you take a drug test. You would be positive for marijuana like you're positive today, and you would be fired. And they would be looking at a civil suit because someone is on their site using drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you living with your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
I know she doesn't want drugs in her house.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see his mom?
Absolutely. Ma'am, come on up.
Peter.
And you had requested her, Judge, and
Yes.
we made sure she wanted to be here as well.
Thank you.
You might just remove the mask.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, if you can lower your mask and state your name for the record.
My name is Tracy.
All right, and are you his mother?
Yes.
What does he spend his day doing?
Well, just normal, sleeping. He goes and helps me with Ubering.
How does he help you with Ubering?
He delivers the food.
Does he have any friends over?
Not really.
Does he have a
No.
curfew?
Well, he has a GPS on, so he doesn't get to leave. He's just gone from 2 to 10, and then he's at home. I don't really have any. He's different. It's
Did-
calmer.
Does he help you clean the home?
He does. He cleans his room. That's the most important thing, is keeping his room clean. That's what I care about, is every kid can clean their own room and wash their own dishes. That's great with me, because that is the most important thing, is if he can make sure he cleans his room, because I know he doesn't make a lot of the mess that's in the kitchen. It's not him. But when he does, he's very good at cleaning. He's different.
All right, who all is in the household?
So it's me, it's Lonzo, my 3 other kids. My friend comes around once in a while, but he doesn't live there, but he does.
So are the people in the home just his siblings?
Just his siblings. His girlfriend comes, but she doesn't stay. She just.
And I'm
comes,
hoping she's not in a bedroom with the door closed with him.
Yes.
Oh, that needs to stop. I don't know how parents do it today, but what I can tell you, in my household, when I was growing up, number one, there were no boys in bedrooms.
Yeah.
Number two, they were only in common areas. And number three, they had to call before they came.
Very
And
true.
when my grandmother would babysit me, my aunt had a boyfriend to come over. And you know what ended up happening? He overstayed his welcome. And you know what my grandmother told him? No one is going to come into my home and try to outsit me. And she put him out from the common area. Now, he hung around, and now he and my aunt have been married for like 30 years. So I guess he was like, I'm going to take what your grandmother is dishing out. But he should not be in a bedroom with a door closed with his girlfriend. You know why? Because one, he's not ready to have a child because he's using marijuana. He has all this criminal history. And any mother who would allow a girlfriend to see someone with the baggage he has when he doesn't have his life in order, I question that mother. And he may end up improving his life, but the way his life stands right now, it's chaos. It's chaos with the GPS. It's chaos because he's looking at 5 years prison. And you have some girl coming over in his bedroom with the door closed. That equals possibility of children. And are you ready to be a grandmother from him?
No, they both take care of themselves to the point where they are
No,
not
no, they
having
don't.
kids.
They're young. And young children tend to do dumb things, whether they have been raised by Mary Poppins or not. They still do dumb things. And I'm just going to be honest with you, right? I don't understand how parents allow children who are not married to come into their home and treat their home, as my grandmother used to say, like a hotel motel. That should not be happening. And you know why? Because it sets a bad example for his siblings. And then your home becomes a hotel motel. The only difference is they don't have to pay for it.
Very true.
So that needs to stop. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here is your choice. I can give you deferred adjudication. If I give you deferred adjudication, if you are revoked, you're going to be looking at 10 years in prison. Or I can send you to prison for 2 years and you will be done. Which would you prefer?
Adjudication.
And what I can tell you is Deputy Laura tells me all the time that she doesn't know how people do probation in this court, because probation in my court is difficult. Because if I give you probation, I want you to be rehabilitated. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There should be proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. I'm going to want him tested for levels. Those levels have better start going down. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this girlfriend you have, is she using as well?
No, ma'am.
Another reason why she shouldn't be with you. It sounds like she doesn't use drugs, but you do. And then you have these criminal cases and you've just been placed on deferred for felon in possession of a weapon. You need to ask yourself, why is she with me? And if it's because she sees something in you, you need to ask yourself, what does she see in me? And the fact that she's taken a chance on you, you need to start doing better. He's going to remain on GPS. I'm going to want a curfew. The only exception to the curfew is if he's at work. So he's going to be in the home by 8 p.m. And if he's not working on weekends, he is to remain at home on the weekends. So there will be no partying for you.
Your Honor, if I may. So the construction job with his neighbor that he was talking about, he was saying that, how is that going to work with GPS? Because I don't know if that person, well, that's what we need to find out. We need to talk to him and see if he can arrange a schedule.
It's on a, the problem they have with the GPS, it's on a school campus and they go around military bases.
Mhm.
And they do the routes.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
They want you working. Okay, they want you using your craft. But you also got to show this court that you're gonna be doing what you need to do.
All right. So it's partial GPS.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. It's partial GPS for employment. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month, 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor, yes, that, curfew is 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
No, my understanding, he's going to be working throughout the week. So he doesn't leave the house till 7 a.m. and he's back at 8 p.m. But if he's at work, then he can work.
And Judge, I appreciate your thoroughness. I just need to make sure he understands this. You're saying if that construction job, if he cannot have the GPS, you're saying then he cannot work that job. Is that what we're saying?
Well, let's just see. I don't believe in crossing bridges until they're
I
built.
agree, Judge.
So let's see where we are on that. And then if there's an issue with that, then he can come back to the
Yes, ma'am.
court. And this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. So if there's an issue, talk to the probation. If you're not able to speak with probation or you feel like they're not addressing your issue, then come to court and address it with me.
Very good.
But the issues on the construction job side is not with this side. That's the reason I haven't been able to work yet.
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying.
The issues on the construction side, that's why I haven't been able to work yet.
Like, what is the issue?
It's the monitor, me being around, gotta be on school campuses, military bases. It
You
just
saying-
doesn't look right in the field.
So you need to talk to that boss and see if that's a no-go. In other
Yeah,
words.
I mean,
Nah,
get some big boots, get some big boots on, pull your pants leg over the GPS. Here's the reason why you're on GPS. I don't just put people on GPS. Sometimes people who are on probation, they get taken off of GPS. The reason why you're on GPS is because you are not even doing what you're supposed to do with this hanging over your head. You knew that I could send you to prison for potentially 5 years, and you chose marijuana over having a better shot at not going to prison. And I'm going to want a TAP evaluation.
It's already
Oh, that is true. What are they recommending? All right, what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And those are all over the city. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to stop using marijuana or you need some type of intervention?
I'll be able to stop.
All right, probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm concerned about the job. It's kind of my dream job. And
No, wear long pants. And I've said it, I'm going to say it again. And maybe the marijuana is clouding your mind, but this is what I'm telling you. Wear long pants, wear bigger boots. If there's another issue where the construction job is saying you cannot wear GPS to work this job, then that means that bridge has been built. Your attorney can come back to me and we can address it. But if they are saying that construction, you can't have that with construction, you're going to need that person to come into court or either do an affidavit with your attorney or directly speak to your attorney to say construction cannot be done with this. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Yes.
Judge, one more if you, thank you.
So my son passed away, so
How long? ago?
it was 4 years ago, but I wanted to do something with my family for his birthday, and that's this Saturday. And I wanted to find out if that would be okay.
Where are you
All
gonna
right.
go?
Vashawn,
We're going to the Live Oak Park.
Okay.
and
can you make sure that they're allowed to celebrate her, I won't say celebrate, but acknowledge her son's passing and that he's allowed to attend? So Saturday, if whatever their plans are, he's allowed to attend.
And as far as the monitor, so I completely understand why you want to have the monitor and I'm not. But I will tell you, that Alonso's been to a lot of interviews and so it is very difficult to wear a monitor and people want to give you a job. And so his friend was explaining to him too, because I overheard the phone and I overheard you say something too, and it made me think about something. Because a lot of people judge something that they don't know the whole story about. And that's an unfortunate thing because we've been dealing with this for a very long time and I'm still dealing with this. And this is one of the things that have caused a lot of problems for Alonso.
All right, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I'm internalizing it, but I want you to understand something. He needs structure. He doesn't have structure. And I am not trying to question your parenting skills, but this is what I see. Parents are trying to be friends with their children. They're acting like their friends, their children are their friends and adults. You're not technically an adult. You know why? Because you can't take care of yourself. You're living at home with your mother. You're using her home as a hotel room and she's letting you use it as a hotel room. You've been having issues since you've been a juvenile. We got the resisting arrest and search, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, unauthorized use of a vehicle, failure to identify, another resisting arrest, search and transport. I'm ignoring that because that was taken into taken in consideration. And then you've been to TYC before. And you know what that tells me? That tells me a little bit that one, you need structure. And mom, you are not his friend, you are his parent. And you need to start laying down the law because otherwise he's going to end up in prison. And if you violate the conditions that I've set for you, what's going to end up happening is you could be looking at 10 years in prison. Here on out, everything that you do in your life, every decision that you're making, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. Because what I can tell you is, and Deputy Laura will tell you, Deputy Mejia and Ms. Abrams will tell you, at some point in time, when people violate conditions in this court, they always end up getting caught. You may not get caught the first time you violate it, but ultimately you end up getting caught because I'm serious about probation coming out doing field visits. And when they do, and something happens, you know what ends up happening? I receive a motion to revoke. And when I get that motion to revoke, if it's in proper order, I check the box and a warrant is issued. You are picked up by the police and you are taken into custody. And either your mom makes bond for you or she does not. If she doesn't make bond for you, you are brought over in orange after having been at the jail with other inmates, sharing toilets, sharing clothing. And then I hear your motion. And if it turns out that it is true and I find it's true, then you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So your mom is allowing you to do things that she should not be allowing you to do. So you're going to have to check yourself. I don't know if that's something that young people still say, but that's what they said when I was growing up. You're going to have to put yourself in check because your mom looks at you. Your mom loves you. Your mom looks at you as still as her little boy. You're an adult. So if you love your mom, you're going to have to start doing things appropriately so your mom doesn't have to come to court begging you and not seeing the fact that she has a son who came to court for sentencing and you're using marijuana. And you're probably using it in her house in the form of candy bars or whatever. And you're in the back room with your girlfriend having sex or whatever. And you're going to end up, if you continue on that vein, you guys are going to forget something. And you're going to end up bringing a grandchild into this world for her. And she's going to end up caring for it. And That grandchild is going to be stuck with the father who has all this history, who doesn't have their life in order. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so probation will go over conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge. With the excuse.
Yes. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins, the state, Your Honor.
Defense,
Lorraine Efron from.
Are you- Gloria Garcia,
Yes, ma'am.
and counsel, you're on this side.
Okay.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, there was an issue today about some employment records, but we've decided to proceed. We have everything the state has, I believe, in their possession. I do believe I have in my.
Okay. Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault, bodily injury on a security officer as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court doesn't have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights? Thank you. And enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived the right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. And you are to admit to acting as a party with Zachary Xavier Garcia. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement.
Mhm.
State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Christina Ramirez. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Judge.
Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. And do you admit to acting as a party with Zachary Xavier Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
And the court will review State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Oh, this was Bo Wood.
I know. I know. And she liked him. You liked
Really?
him. You liked Bo, didn't you? Had you? Yeah.
No, I never met him.
Oh, you didn't get
No,
to meet
No,
him.
I think he
He
had
passed
passed.
before.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would have liked him.
Yeah. he is
I've been told that.
Yeah. He was a nice man.
Really?
Yes.
nicer than me.
I don't think anyone ever had a bad word to say about him, and he never said a bad word about anyone. Always in a great mood. I never saw
That's
him
awesome.
unhappy or mean to anybody.
He
That's
he
awesome.
was really a class act.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
She's 23, Your Honor.
Mhm.
She works full-time at Amazon.
Mhm.
She works overnight shift from
6 to 4:30 a.m.
6 to 4:30 a.m., 10-hour shifts. She's hopeful this is not going to cost her her job. But she also has two
little girls.
children, two little girls. And so between work and her children, and her husband is a co-defendant, her common law husband is a co-defendant. I don't know what the court might be considering in terms of community service, but we're asking for some consideration financially in terms of community service. She works a lot.
All right, how old are your children?
5 and 3.
So why did the two people, the complainants in this case, why did they think there was an argument going on between you?
I guess when we were, well, because there was an argument between me and my husband, but it was just, talking, a little bittering. That's it. We had agreed we were gonna go inside upstairs, and that's when I guess they saw us and then they followed us upstairs. And I had told them, like, can you leave us alone? We're just gonna go inside. He's gonna cook me something. We're just gonna eat and go to bed because it was already close to midnight, I believe, already.
So where were your children?
They were inside with my mom and my brother. They were already in bed by like 10.
All right, because the complainants in this case are saying that they saw him with his arms around your shoulders and they thought you all were fighting.
No, it's because he was helping me upstairs because I was like really drunk. Like I did not have any control of my body. So he was helping me upstairs.
So that's part of, and I get, we've had a little bit of angst over this. Nobody she's not saying that her husband assaulted her.
Oh, no. I'm not going there. Where I'm going with it is this. San Antonio in the United States and other places as well have issues with domestic violence.
Okay.
And always it's best to report whatever you see, and then you can apologize later.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, maybe you're saving someone's life.
Yeah, of course.
Because in this situation, they're saying that they thought maybe there was domestic violence going on. According to the police report, they're saying they didn't step into the home. They were just waiting to call somebody to come and see what's going on. So we would not even be here, if I'm reading the police report correctly, if everybody would have just held their positions. And by everybody, I mean you and your husband, just hold your positions. They would have called the police would have came, they would have said, hey, there's nothing going on here. Instead, you're here on a felony case.
There's the security guard was banging on the door, which caused and it was waking the kids up. And so that, not that it's an excuse, we understand, but they were very upset by that because they felt like she could have just called the police and didn't have to bang on the door like that. I guess I can hear
And
what the judges.
I see both sides of it, but you know what else could have happened? There could have been an incident where it's domestic violence and, maybe somebody was beating on someone. And then if something would have happened, something disastrous where somebody's killed, you know what the person's family would have been saying? I don't understand why the security guard didn't at least knock on the door or do this and that.
Yeah.
I felt that too about this. It's a tough thing to come. She has no record. She has no history involved with the criminal justice system. And I don't think she ever will again. I think she's going to be a very successful probationer. So.
Drink
gives it
alcohol while you're on probation.
Oh, no, I don't want to.
I mean,
I'm good.
but a lot of people think that they can, even if
No.
there's a party. I know there are holidays coming up, but when you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. This is Texas. You're not allowed to smoke marijuana or any of that. You understand?
Do that in the first place. No,
All right.
no, ma'am.
This is what the court will do. $500 fine that will be probated. Does anyone want to speak on the term of deferred? You all are asking for 4.
Just a recommendation. I think maybe Ms. Efron wanted to be heard on.
I
that.
felt 4 was a little much for this circumstances. I would ask for 2.
All right, 3 years deferred adjudication. 150 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once parenting classes are complete, that will be deemed to be satisfied. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. What are your hours?
My work hours are 6 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. Wednesday through Saturday.
Okay. All right. So she can report by Zoom or in person. Field visits 1 time per month for 2 months. And probation, if you think everything is fine after that, then you can do field visits that you deem necessary. There's to be regular UAs, or either you can do the patch. The patch costs more, but it's easier on time constraints because they just put the patch on you and then you have to go and let them take it off. You don't remove it yourself,
Oh, okay.
but it's completely up to you.
Versus freedom.
Not at all.
There's to be no contact with Christina Ramirez. I don't know how that's going to work if they're at the same location.
No. We have our own apartment now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's to be no contact with Christina Ramirez. Probation, is there anything else?
No.
All right, and I'll add anger management. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I'm okay.
Anger, you want her to do the anger management class as well?
Yes. All right. And probation, if they have an anger management class that's online, she can do it online.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
May we be excused?
Oh, just 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to show you
Sorry.
what's, that's okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Judge.
Yeah.
Now may I be excused?
Yes, now you may be excused. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 11724, State of Texas versus Jordan Robbins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Amy Owen for the defense.
All right. And the other 2 attorneys who are here?
Yes, Judge. Brandon Wong for Alexander Reed.
All right, so everybody, please do not whisper because the court reporter cannot hear. So,
Brandon Wong for Alexander Reed.
Yes, Your Honor. Rick Foster here for Dr. Javier Rodriguez.
all right. So before we get into the reason for the other 2 attorneys being present, I want to make sure that you have all the discovery from the state that the state has in its possession.
That the state has in its possession, I believe so, Your Honor. I do not know if that's what is in their possession is comprehensive of the order of the court of what was ordered to be turned over. I had not looked at that yet, since we do have a final discovery, I believe. Setting, I think it's on the 24th.
On the
Or it's
24th.
24th.
So this was set for the motion to quash today, and we already have a discovery setting set on the 24th.
Okay. All right. So let's go over the motion then. And I have a first amended motion.
Yes, Judge. Do you need a copy?
Oh, I have this. And did you file a motion as well, or is
I
this?
did not, Your Honor, found out about it yesterday, but we're subject to this motion because we're the doctor, one of the doctors that is being asked to produce records for Mr. Wong's client, Ms. Reed.
All right.
And Your Honor,
So defense.
Your Honor, so as the court's aware, we have argued, sort of argued this prior to the court. And we're not on a fishing expedition to for all of her medical records, but what we are interested in and looking for are medical records that occur between January 1st of 2022 up through January 31st of 2022.
All right, do y'all want to write this down, what she's asking for?
I can get it.
Okay.
Let Mr. Wong know. So there's American Health Imaging on January 6th, 2022, January 18th with Dr. Nivra Beta, January 21st with Dr. Malhorta, and January 31st with North Central Baptist Hospital ER. And then we know that the outcry in this case is February 8th and 9th. And the reason we're asking for this, Your Honor, is that the mother of the complainant suffers from a frontal traumatic brain injury. We know that occurred in 2012. And those, because of, without revealing too much of our defensive strategy in this case, there's information contained within the case file of the civil discovery and within the court-ordered psychological evaluation by Dr. Richard Tice that gives us reason to believe that there could be exculpatory information contained within mother's medical records, mother's outcry witness in this case. And we believe that what is contained within those records could be exculpatory. We're asking for the court to do it. We're not asking for them to be turned over. We're asking if the court would do an in-camera review of these records to see if there's anything relevant to this case in terms of symptoms and diagnoses of what happened within the 30 days of outcry. And that's what we're requesting.
All right. And state,
Yes.
are you planning on calling this witness as an outcry witness or calling this witness at all?
She would be the outcry witness, Your Honor. And we had a hearing previously on this, and our position as to why we did not feel that these records were necessary was because she is just the outcry witness. She's not, the allegations themselves come from the child. The child said these allegations multiple times. And it's just very attenuated from how there could be any relevancy. It's kind of well, there might be something in there. And we don't know that there is. And it's the state's view that it's outside our duties to provide, which is why they chose to subpoena independently.
Well, the court's question, this brain injury, did it occur before or after the alleged outcry?
Before.
About 10 years before.
All right.
Judge, obviously, they're asking for my client's protected HIPAA information. It's just clearly a fishing expedition. The subpoena is defective on its face. They actually didn't even follow the procedure. They didn't serve my client. They never served my client with the actual subpoena for any of the records they're asking for. The subpoena is incorrect because it doesn't even list her name correctly, her birthday correctly. So again, no one can even provide the information they want because again, it's just defective on its face.
But obviously, you know,
Obviously, I know about it, but and
'Cause
that's
you're
why we're
here.
here. But the reality is, Your Honor, as the state said, none of this information is remotely relevant. They're just trying to simply fish. My client, again, she's one of many outcry witnesses that have heard the child's statement. She's not the victim. She's not saying this happened to her.
but this is the person that the state is calling as an outcry.
I get it, Judge. But again, she's not the only one. And then they're still able to have my client on the stand, ask her whatever she wants, whatever they want. You know, that is, we all know that is how it works. And so they're able to get whatever information. They're trying to link something that happened 10 years ago and saying, well, now she got some sort of mental handicap where she is now convincing her child. You know, that's their strategy. It's not even a secret. They're trying to say that she has influenced her child to say that these allegations have occurred to her. It's a stretch to say the least, Your Honor. And so again, it's just harassment on the part of, you know, they're just making my client spend countless dollars and time fighting this thing. She has nothing to do with it. All she did, she made a report and that's it. She's out of it. And so again, for them to now seek all of her records, now they're cutting it down. Originally it was her entire medical file, her entire medical records. And I understand they just want a couple visits here and there, but again, Your Honor, my client's still going to have to produce them. It's a hassle. There is nothing relevant that's going to come from this. And they're viewing it's possibly exculpatory. They don't know. There's nothing other than just their speculation. It's just pure speculation that they can come up here and say, we just want to harass this lady to get these records, just so we might be able to strengthen our defense. And again, as the prosecution has said, it's just not relevant.
Okay. And do you have an argument?
Your Honor, we just merely support the patient, Dr. Rodriguez's patient, Ms. Reed. It's her record. She doesn't want to produce them. We don't want to produce them. And it sounds like from the summary that was given by defense counsel, they're not even asking for Dr. Rodriguez's records at this point. Is that correct? Even
That's
though okay, so we have a subpoena, but so we need protection from that subpoena. I can file a separate motion, or
Well,
we
I
can
mean-
agree on the record today that it's, or as the court determines, that subpoena
Well,
is
just one
withdrawn.
second, because I'd like to
Oh, yes,
cut to
yes,
the
Your Honor.
point.
Okay.
So this attorney, his patient, or his doctor,
Yes, Your Honor.
are there any records that you want from this doctor?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. However, since we don't have any, we don't know if it references, any type of diagnosis or treatment that's referred back to that. But these specifically, what I read are what we're requesting.
All right. So here's the thing. Number one, he's saying that the subpoena is improper on its face because it doesn't have the correct name, the correct date of birth. I think we all know who it is and who we're here for. If you want to make another trip down to the courthouse and they can correct the name and the date of birth, they can do that. But I can tell you what my ruling is going to be. What my ruling is going to be is, yes, I need to see it in camera inspection, and I will make a determination of whether it's relevant or not. If I deem that it's not relevant from the in-camera inspection, then that will be the end of it. But I can't make a determination on whether or not a record is relevant or not until I see it. So just listen to everybody's argument. I've listened to your argument, but I need to see what it is. So she is telling me she has narrowed it down to this specific thing. And my understanding from both sides, or let me make it clear to everybody, that's the specific thing. We're not going outside of that specific thing. So counsel, if there is something that you feel that the attorney who's here today, that there's something that they have, let them know specifically what it is. And then if you all will present it to the court, not to the state, not to the defense, just present it to me, I will review it. And then I will make a determination whether it's relevant or not. And my understanding from defense, they're no longer asking for the entirety of the record, which I would think the entirety of the record would not be relevant. But the specific part she's asking for, I'll review them and make a decision on that. So first question, are you going to want me to rule that on its face because it has the wrong date of birth, wrong name? And just
On its
say,
face, Judge, honestly, yes, Your Honor, they need to refile it.
all right, so
And then
this
I'll
is-
ask my client, once they've served a proper subpoena to provide said documents, and then, because I understand what your ruling is, but
Mhm.
obviously I can't agree to release her records when it's just not been properly done.
all right, so when will you have your subpoena ready?
Today.
All right, so she's going to have her subpoena ready today. So while she's getting her subpoena ready, if y'all can get those records ready for the time frame, if you give them the time frame, it's not, I read very quickly. It's not going to take me long to do it and to review everything.
And Your Honor, I think the other issue would be that in order for anybody to get the records, that the court would need to order Mr. Wong's client to sign a HIPAA release to the actual entities to be able to release the records to the court.
I'm not going to order her to sign a HIPAA release.
Okay,
So,
so once we get the subpoena and then the court, we would direct the entity to send the records directly to the court.
yes.
Okay,
And then if you all are able to get the records directly to make the process move quicker and bring them to me, and I will review them in camera. And as I said before, when I review things in camera, I really review them in camera. Defense doesn't see it, state doesn't see it, her client's not going to see it. I'll be the only person who's seeing it.
May I address?
Sure.
Your Honor, pursuant to HIPAA, and the CFRs underneath that, we have, if it's a third-party subpoena, to be able to release the records, we need to be ordered to produce those records. And then there needs to be provisions that they're prohibited from using the records and disclosing them outside the litigation, and they're required to return the records upon the conclusion of the proceedings. And so
Here's my thing.
may I pass something up to the court?
Sure. But you may pass it,
Yeah.
but I will tell you, I don't believe in crossing bridges until they're built.
Yes.
So the first thing we need to do is, if you all will confer on the date she's speaking about,
Yes.
and then she can have her new subpoena, and you all just get the records prepared for the court. And if you all can have the records and bring them to me, because sometimes when things are mailed to the court, it goes to 6 different places. People don't read 187 4th floor with a suite number. So it goes to different places. And so nobody else will read it, just me. If y'all will bring it to me, and if you could put it in a sealed envelope that says judge only on it, nobody else will open it. The staff would not open it. It'll go specifically to me.
And can we go ahead and submit an agreed order on how those records are being tendered up to you, because you've directed us to do it?
Sure.
And
If you all
put it
can,
with the documents?
yes.
Okay, you okay with that?
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
great.
All right. And then she'll get the subpoena. But I will tell you, our next court date in this court for discovery matters are August 24th.
Yes.
So if you all can have all those records to me before August 24th, that would be great. If not, I can read it on August 24th, but I just like to have leisure reading before that date.
Okay.
All right. So August 24th. Does anybody need anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, you're
All right. And if there's not any objections from the defense, if you all want to appear by Zoom, you're more than welcome to appear by Zoom, as long as I have the records to review in camera. Is there going to be any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right. So if you all would like to appear by Zoom, just let the court know, and the court coordinator will give you the Zoom link.
That'll work. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 6331B, State of Texas versus Zachary Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Judith Weimer.
And are you Zachary Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes. ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what you're charged with is assault on a security officer as a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and you are to acknowledge that you acted as a party with Gloria Garcia. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, ma'am.
state,
Yes, ma'am.
showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years, that there be 150 hours of community service restitution and no contact with Jose Alvarez. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, I'm sorry, did you understand that those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? All right, then to the offense is charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 and the attachments.
No objection.
All right, did you review the document entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. And do you admit that you acted as a party with Gloria Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Like the court to know that Mr. Garcia, of course, is married to Gloria Garcia, the co-defendant in this matter, which the court just heard her case. They have 2 minor children. Mr. Garcia works 60 to 65 hours a week. And we would ask that the court take that into consideration in terms of the community service restitution and any other conditions of probation that the court may deem necessary.
All right. So what do you do?
I do demolition, Robles one, demolition contractors.
Okay. All right. This is what the court will do. Court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's a $500 fine. It will be probated. There's to be no contact with Jose Alvarez. 150 hours community service restitution. That will be waived once you complete parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Anger management. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Regular UAs, or either you can do the patch. Sometimes if you're doing demolition or working in construction, the patch doesn't work because you get very sweaty.
It just comes
Yes.
right off.
But you can speak with probation about that. The patch costs more, but it works better if you have time constraints.
Okay.
There's to be, just one moment, field visits. 1 time per month for 2 months. And thereafter, if the probation deems necessary. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Yes.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
No.
All right, so I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You heard what I told your wife, correct? All right, live by that.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and I think that's our last case, everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then a jury trial. It's calling 2019 CR 6497A, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense.
Joseph Stateson.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
I did review, understand, and sign.
Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find. I'm sorry, just 1 second. See, this is what happens when you multitask. I'm reading the police report plus giving him instructions. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
absolutely.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Who's the no contact order against?
Oh, sorry, I think I added that.
No problem. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to plea, punishment is be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There are no, the state is silent on your application. There's to be restitution, if any, to Jose Montoya. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and the court, if the court finds there was a deadly weapon, then the court will find there's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Do you understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
I had filed some motions. Because we worked a deal out, for the record, I think we had 13 prior settings with Raymond Martinez who did not file motions.
Okay.
I expedited motions being filed, but my client had accepted an offer. So I don't believe the motions had been presented for a hearing.
All right, then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
State any evidence?
State offer states Exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments or review the same. All right, after reviewing states Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. This will come back on August 12th. We'll do a PSI and TAP evaluation. At that time, the court will make its decision on your application based upon any evidence that's presented and also the PSI report. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, October 12th. I'm just seeing if everybody's listening to what I'm saying. So we'll bring you back on August 12th, okay? I keep saying August 12th. Why do I keep saying that? It's been a long day. October 12th. That's when we'll bring you back. And Justice Stateson's so nice. He was trying to interrupt me without interrupting me. Because no matter what you say to Joseph, his level stays here. He's like,
I don't raise my voice.
it's like that day has passed, so we're going back in time. All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
We are ready on Garland, and this is family violence. Oh, come forward. Ms. Wheeler, you need to show your video and unmute. All right, and Mr. Guy, are you stationary? I don't believe in zooming and driving.
Judge, yeah, let me pull over.
Okay. Look at me saving lives in my spare time. All right. We're going to go on the record. 2023 CR 3544, State of Texas versus Garland Green. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ruben Herrera for the state.
Defense?
Robert Gear for defense, Your Honor.
All right, and you're Garland Green? Any objections to Mr. Gear appearing by video, state?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And any objection to Ms. Wheeler appearing by video?
No objection from the state.
All right. Ms. Wheeler, what are you wearing?
Clothes?
Oh, okay. All right. I just saw a shoulder. Like, please have on clothing.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So there was a no contact order that was put in place by the court. And I informed both parties that I would reconsider if you appear. So if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You all can, excuse me, sir, Mr. Pettis, if you all can move down to that end. All right. If you'll state your name for the record.
Jesse Wheeler?
All right, Ms. Wheeler, I'm being asked to consider allowing you to have contact with Mr. Green. Has Mr. Green been staying with you since this incident?
Yes, off and on.
Are y'all currently living together?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
All right, here's the thing. I'm not trying to trap anyone into the fact that they may have violated some sort of orders. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not he should be allowed to have contact with you. That's all I'm here for. So have you all been living together?
Yes.
All right. Have y'all been living together since this incident?
No.
All right. When did y'all start back living together?
We were told that the order was lifted. God, I think back in, I don't know, because CPS got involved and then she said the order was lifted. So that's when we were actually able to start staying with each other again.
And when was that? Has it been this month?
Has it been this month?
Yes.
Yeah, this month, last month. So.
All right. So are you all in counseling?
Yes, we are.
Couples counseling?
Marriage counseling, and we both do counseling separately.
Do you wish for Mr. Green to continue to stay at the home with you?
Yes.
All right. Any questions?
No question from the state.
All right, then I'm going to change the order to no harmful or injurious contact with Jesse Wheeler. Ms. Wheeler, if there are any issues at the home, you can just let his probation officer know. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
We'll close the record. Thank you, Mr. Greer.
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো। 15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো। 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত, কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না। সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছু একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে। তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন?
নিয়ে
যাই ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজ ইউজ করেছি হানি।
সো দিস ইজ আ
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ,
আউটার লেয়ারটা বাকলাভা
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক,
চিজ কেক, এন্ড দেন দিস
দম চিকেন, আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা, ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি। টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টমি ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনাকে আজকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে,
15 লাখ টাকা পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই। এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক,
বাকিটা
ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন 15 লাখ টাকা জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছে আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে পারছি।
ইমাজিন করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা,
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
সত্যি?
জি, চলে আসুন।
ঠিকই জানি আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Mình đang tô phần lông của chú vịt mẹ với cái màu tím nha. Chú Khắc ơi, cái giấy khai sinh đấy có cần ngay hôm nay không? Hôm nay cháu không đi công chứng được, nếu mà cần ngay thì phải dùng bản sao. Nhưng mà hơi tiếc bản sao vì hôm đấy nhà cháu làm có mấy cái. Tưởng là chưa cần ngay để mai cháu đi công chứng thì lấy bản công chứng. Nhưng mà nếu cần ngay thì để lại nộp bản sao vậy. Bản sao hôm đấy nhà cháu lại làm hơi ít. Làm có 5 cái thì lại lộp hôm trước một cái rồi hôm nay 2 cái nữa là 3 cái. Thế thôi đưa luôn, hôm nào cháu lại đi làm vậy. Tưởng là chưa cần gấp ấy thì là để cháu công chứng thì nó dễ hơn. Công chứng thì công chứng ở đâu cũng được, nhưng mà bản sao thì phải đúng ủy ban. Vâng, cần luôn thì lấy luôn. Vâng. Thế chú nhé. Mình đã tô xong với cái màu tím rồi nhá. Mình sẽ cắt cái màu tím lên đi. Với phần lông của chú vịt con mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu vàng nha. Với cái phần mỏ và phần chân cũng vẫn là cái màu nâu. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu này.
আমি আছি বগুড়ায়, আর বগুড়ার সব সেরা রাঁধুনিরা তাদের হাতের খাবার নিয়ে চলে এসেছেন। কেমন করছেন তারা, চলুন দেখা যাক। দর্শক, অসংখ্য প্রতিযোগীর মধ্য থেকে প্রাথমিকভাবে বাছাইকৃত প্রতিযোগীরা আজ হাজির হয়েছে বগুড়াতে। প্রত্যেকের স্বপ্ন একটাই, হতে চায় সেরা রাঁধুনি, এবং একটু পরেই তারা মুখোমুখি হবে বিচারকদের। তারা কি ভাবছেন, মনের মধ্যে কিরকম দুশ্চিন্তা হচ্ছে, কে কি রেসিপি নিয়ে এসেছেন এবং তাদের জন্য কতটা সহজ হবে ঢাকায় যাওয়ার টিকিট পাওয়া, কথা বলবো প্রতিযোগীদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আপনার রেসিপি কি?
আমার রেসিপিটা হচ্ছে ক্যারামেল অরেঞ্জ ইয়োগার্ট।
ওকে, এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস কি?
এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্ট হচ্ছে দই, বগুড়ার বিখ্যাত দই। আমি সেটা দিয়ে ফিউশন করার ট্রাই করেছি।
আপনি এর আগেও অংশ নিয়েছিলেন, সম্ভবত 1427 এবং গ্র্যান্ড অডিশন থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, রাইট?
রাইট।
এবারের রেসিপি কি?
এবারের রেসিপি হচ্ছে আমার চকলেট মোকা স্ট্রবেরি চিজ কেক অল আর মাই সিক্রেট রেসিপি সো আই এম ভেরি এক্সাইটেড।
কুমু কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
খুব ভালো। এর আগে 1427 লাকি 7 থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, এবার কি মনে হচ্ছে?
প্রথমবারের যে অভিজ্ঞতা, বর্তমানে আমি তারপর আরো 2 বছর সময় নিয়েছি, শিখেছি, তো নিজেকে এবারে তৈরি করে এনেছি, ইনশাল্লাহ ভালো কিছু একটা হবে।
আপনার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য কি?
আমার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে গ্রাম্য নিয়ে এসেছি, মানে আমার গ্রামের যে জিনিসপত্র সে প্রেজেন্ট করবো।
একসঙ্গে কতজনের রান্না করতে পারবেন?
আমি যদি বলি এখন আমাদের বাসায় যত গেস্ট আসে আপ টু 20।
একটু কি ভয় লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, একটু ভয় কাজ করছে কারণ ফার্স্ট টাইম কোনো রিয়েলিটি শোতে আসছি।
তারপর আপনার জন্য শুভকামনা রইল।
সো মাচ।
দর্শক, ভয় তো লাগবেই এবং এই ভয়কে জয় করাই হচ্ছে যে কোনো প্রতিযোগীর কাজ। সেরা রাঁধুনি কিন্তু একটা লম্বা প্রতিযোগিতা এবং এই রেসে টিকে থাকার জন্য আপনাকে অবশ্যই অন্যদের চাইতে বেটার রেসিপি দিতে হবে এবং সেই রেসিপির মধ্য দিয়ে কিন্তু যারা আমাদের বিচারক রয়েছেন তাদের মন জয় করতে হবে। সো দেখা যাক কি হয়, আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আমাদের মাঝে বিচারকেরা চলে এসেছেন। একটু পরেই শুরু হবে ফুড টেস্টিং এবং সেই সাথে জাজমেন্ট। আমি এবার কথা বলবো আমাদের বিচারকদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। ওয়েলকাম টু বগুড়া অডিশন। কি খবর?
ভালো, তুমি কেমন আছো?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি এবং আমি ভুল না করলে এবার দিয়ে বোধহয় 5ম বারের মতো আপনি আসলে বিচারকের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন। বগুড়ার প্রতিযোগী, সর্বোপরি এবারের প্রতিযোগীদের নিয়ে আপনার কি বলার আছে?
প্রত্যাশা তো অনেক বেশি, কারণ বগুড়া সবসময় সব সিজনেই অনেক ভালো ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা পেয়ে থাকি সেরা রাঁধুনিতে। তো এবারেও আমি আশা করছি যে অ্যাটলিস্ট টপ 5 পর্যন্ত যেন যেতে পারে, এরকম পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা এখান থেকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের প্রত্যাশা।
শেফ নাইম আশরাফ দ্বিতীয়বারের মতো সেরা রাঁধুনির অডিশনের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন বিচারকের। কেমন লাগছে বা কি মনে করছেন এবারের এই আয়োজন নিয়ে?
সেরা রাঁধুনি গত সিজনে আমরা রংপুর দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম, সো এবার বগুড়াতে নতুন পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের খাওয়া ট্রাই করার জন্য ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। রেসিপি সিলেকশনে আমি সবগুলো রেসিপি দেখেছি, সিলেক্ট করেছি, সো ওগুলো খাওয়ার জন্য এবার এখানে আশা করি অনেক ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস বগুড়া থেকে পাবো।
অনেক অনেক ভালোবাসা। আমার মনে হয় আমি আর সময় নষ্ট না করি, আপনার ভেতরে চলে যান।
তোমাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। দর্শক, আমাদের প্রধান 2 বিচারককে তো পেয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু বগুড়াতে রয়েছেন আমাদের আরও একজন অতিথি বিচারক। তিনি ঠিক কোথায় আমি এখনো জানি না, তাকে খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। তিনি এলেই কিন্তু শুরু হয়ে যাবে আমাদের মূল অডিশন রাউন্ড।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha, phần lá là màu xanh nè. Còn phần chùm nho này, đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha. Màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. Để cho nó đỡ chặt nha. Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.
আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না
On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
আমার নাম প্রীতি ইসলাম। আমি আজকে কোকোনাট রাইস রান্না করেছি। কোকোনাট রাইস উইথ গ্রিল চিকেন অ্যান্ড কোরিয়ান্ডার সস, সাথে পামকিনের আরেকটা সস দিয়েছি। ডেজার্টে দিয়েছি বাহারি মোহনভোগ।
আপনার মানে এই যে রেসিপি জি সব কিছু মিলিয়ে কি মনে হয় সেরা রাঁধুনিতে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য এটা দিস ইজ বেস্ট রেসিপি?
জি, আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা বেস্ট হবে।
প্রীতি, ফার্স্ট থিং আমি আপনাকে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসটা বলি,
Yeah, sure.
ঠিক আছে? It's very dry. Second জিনিস হলো গিয়ে whole roast is not the ideal thing to do when you're serving this at a restaurant or এরকম একটা কুকিং শোতে. You don't expect the judges or the customer এটাকে কেটে নেবে. On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
এখন একটু আমরা টেস্ট করে দেখি। আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না, ভালো, থ্যাংক ইউ। আর ডেজার্টটাও মাইল্ড, মানে মিষ্টির ব্যালেন্সটা ভালো আছে। জি জি। কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হয় কি যে যখন আমরা অডিশনে আসি তখন এতগুলো জিনিস দিয়ে আসলে অডিশন না।
আমি এনেছি কারণ আমি হচ্ছে ফুল প্ল্যাটারটাই সার্ভ করতে
ঠিক আছে,
এটা আমার ইন্টেনশন।
এতগুলো না দিয়েও আপনি শুধু একটার উপর যদি ফোকাস দিতেন জি জি তাও মনে হয় আপনার
আমি
বেস্ট হতো।
সবগুলোর উপরে সমান ফোকাস দিয়েছি, বাই মিস্টেকেনলি একটু ফল্ট হয়েছে হয়তো, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি খুব যত্ন করে করার অ্যাকচুয়ালি।
আসলে যত্নের ছোঁয়া এখানে আছে, আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি এবং রেসিপির মধ্যেও আমার কাছে ভিন্নতা লেগেছে আর কিছু টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট আছে তো আমার মনে হয় ওইগুলো যদি একটু কারেকশন করা যায় তাহলে ইট ওয়াজ গুড
প্রীতি, দ্য চিকেন হ্যাজ ফ্লেভার, চিকেনটা মজা, সসটাও মজা, রাইট? বাট বেসিকে প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে। বেসিক ইজ আপনার কুকিংটাই তো ওভারকুকড।
আমাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পোলট্রি চুজ করতে হতো মেবি এই ক্ষেত্রে।
ফার্মের মুরগি ইউজ করলে মনে হয়
পোলট্রিটা বেশি জুসি।
অফ কোর্স
আমার এটা ফল্ট হয়েছে, এটা আমি বুঝছি।
প্রীতি, আই থিঙ্ক ওভারঅল টেস্ট ভালো আছে অ্যান্ড আই থিঙ্ক ইটস আ গুড এফোর্ট। উই ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ ইউ আ চান্স।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওয়েট করেন, আসেন আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেওয়া হবে।
আমার খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পেয়ে গেছি। আমি কিন্তু কনফিডেন্ট ছিলাম যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পাবো, আর আমি এখন অপেক্ষায় আছি নেক্সট রাউন্ডে ঢাকা যাওয়ার জন্য। আমি আশাবাদী যে আমি ঢাকা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবো।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhá. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. Những chòm cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.